Not long ago, a rather brave but mischievous mouse discovered a world I had created for forgotten toons.
Walt Disney. Today it's one of the biggest brands in every form of entertainment, from films and television to theme parks and yes, video games. But once upon a time, it was just the name of a man who created so many characters and stories that for each we remember, there's another we've all forgotten. That was the hook of the original Epic Mickey, that there's a world out there of forgotten would-be icons, a wasteland beyond Disneyland, explored by the one we do remember, Mickey Mouse. This concept promised something dark and beautiful like no Disney game ever had been before. So it was such a disappointment when it turned out to be a mediocre platformer smothered by an awful camera. 2 years later, and Mickey is returning to the Wasteland in Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two. Is this finally the game we've been waiting for? Following on from Epic Mickey, Wasteland is in peril. Old enemies appear to turn good, and Mickey is summoned back to save the day yet again. It's the same occasionally charming, inoffensive story you'll be used to from Disney, and this time it's all presented with full voice acting and with a number of jaunty songs. Yes, Epic Mickey 2 is a musical.
Friends, 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 I stand before you a changed man.
A welcome change, but one that hasn't really been supported with any memorable compositions. It's all just exposition put to a soundtrack, all leading into the usual fetch or repair quests you'd expect. But somehow the allure of Epic Mickey 2's central premise is still strangely captivating.
Yes, I know. I was an evil, greedy tool.
The same can't be said for its gameplay, however. As in the original, moving Mickey across platforms ranges from breezy and light to floaty and dull, depending on the level. Sections with lots of upward movement are fun to navigate. Mickey's jump is massive, and the improved camera does a good job of keeping up. The 2D sections, however, expose the controls for what they are, sluggish and unresponsive. Fortunately, the platforming isn't as important as the return of Mickey's magical paintbrush. Firing streams of either blue paint or green thinner, this is the key to Epic Mickey 2's puzzles, combat, and even a basic morality system. As with Traveller's Tales series of LEGO games, the puzzles in Epic Mickey 2 aim to be friendly to all ages. But this means they often amount to little more than creating or destroying predetermined objects to get by. But there's nothing more problematic in Epic Mickey 2 than Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Once Mickey's jealous forgotten rival, now Oswald is Mickey's loyal friend and joins him on this new adventure to sabotage it. Not on purpose, we don't think. Oswald is actually a lovely character, but sabotage it he surely does. That's because on top of Epic Mickey 2's other problems, now you'll have to contend with one of the worst AI sidekicks we've seen in years. Oswald is like a broken, lobotomized robot. He often gets stuck, lost, confused, and gives you a nasty electrical shock if you get in his way. At his best, he just stands there doing nothing while you wish upon a star for him to take his essential place in solving whatever puzzle needs to be conquered to move on.
Oswald, what's wrong?
Thankfully, a second local player can take over from Oswald instead. Although this doesn't make the fundamental gameplay any more fun, it does curb much of the frustration of working with Oswald. If you can find a willing partner, there are at least plenty of worthwhile reasons to push on and explore in Epic Mickey 2. The levels and unlockable extras are all inspired by classic Disney animation, including new costumes, beautiful concept art, and even the full 1929 classic, The Skeleton Dance. These are the reasons to play Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two. But for most people, it won't be enough. The game somehow manages to disappoint even after our expectations were lowered by the first game. There's still all that potential locked up inside, and you'll catch a glimpse of it here and there. How much of a fan you are of old school Disney, and whether or not someone will play it with you, will ultimately determine the fun you can have. For now, though, we're still waiting for an Epic Mickey game that Walt would be proud of.
I hope you're right. 'Cause it feels like the end.
Ginx.